Hello friends, welcome back again. So in this tutorial we talk about the polymorphism. So polymorphism means any individual having one or more forms. Okay, so poly means many, morphism means form. Okay, so for example, I take the example here. John is a individual. It can be a father, or it can be an employee, or it can be a son, or it can be a husband. He is one individual, but he has many roles. So in office he acts as an employee, but in home he can be act as a son or father. Okay, so husband. So these concept will used in programming, and we use as polymorphism. So we use two type of polymorphism in programming, that is method overloading and another is method overriding. So we talk about method overloading is this type of polymorphism in which we can declare the two function or more than two function with the same name. They have a difference just using the parameters or the different type of parameters they are passing from it. Okay, so you can see on this on your screen that we have a two polymorphism. First one is method or function overloading, and this method or function overriding. So in this tutorial we will talk about the method overloading. So I told you method overloading is nothing. In same class we are using two or more function with the same name. The difference is just the argument they are passing from it. Okay, so what are the example I take? So in class A we use two functions, the name same, but they are different in parameter, and we can call these functions using the class object. You can see on your screen. Okay, so you can take a snapshot for your future reference. So we try to implement this polymorphism or function overloading. So we'll move on our IDE so we can do this practical right now. Okay, so we are in our IDE. Here we have to create the class. So we create the class A. Okay, we give any name. In the class A we use two that function. They have same name but different in parameter. Okay, so first I create protected. Okay, so int roll number. So I create public void person. Okay, I did it. So I print the line. I print the line here. Enter the roll number. So we use here /n. Okay, so we took the value from the keyboard and put inside the roll number variable. Okay, so first method just input the roll number and store it into the variable roll number. Okay, so we are using second method, public void person. So this method have difference between the first method is just for the argument, how much argument they are passing. I can pass one argument, create the difference, make the difference between person, the first person, the second person. Okay, or I can use the two. So right now I'm using two method that we done in the previous example. In constructor, parameterized constructor, is I want to create same like, so that it is easy to understand what we are doing here, and we can implement the previous example also, whatever we learned from the previous tutorial. Okay, so here int, so CL for class, then we use char nm for name variable. So 20 variable we can pass from our function. Okay, so we use method here. So here we just type the information. Okay, only type the information. So what information we can type here? First /n, we can type roll number. So we type roll number here, and in which variable it is stored? Roll number. Then we can use /n, we can use class. Okay, so class stored in CL, yet we don't have any value here, but we'll took the value from the main function. Okay, so then what we want to print next is name. Okay, we can print the name first, but I want to make it this order. Okay, so name store is nm, so we create here our function overloading. Okay, so we have a class name A, and we using two function person. First person is just input the value, and second person using or passing two parameters, that is class and name, and the name we will display it, but the value we can taken from the main function. Okay, we pass it from the function directly from the main function. We already know that how we have to implement this. Okay, so we have to create class A and variable A. So A dot, so what it accessed? It accessed the two function person. So I access the first person where I input the roll number, another parameterized method. So here first is integer value, so I type 1 2 3 4, this is the roll number. Another is char, he asks for character, so I type here Sansha. Okay, so I will repeat again. We are using class A. In class A we use two public methods, that is void person, another is void person, but the second one has a difference between the first one, just the parameter passing. Okay, he has two parameters, and the top one person has nothing to pass. So that is why we can differentiate between the first method and the second method. If we create the same name without passing parameters, it's create the conflict. So we want to avoid the conflict, that is why we using first method has nothing parameter passing from it, another method person in which we are passing int class, int CL and char name nm variables, and we can initialize the value from the void main and pass it from to it. I already explained the previous tutorial, but I will explain later. First we want to run this. Okay, so I will show you that our output. So enter the roll number. Okay, it asking roll number. Let me check. That is not a roll number, that is a class, so I pass it 1 2 3. Okay, so the class is 12th. Okay, I did mistake here. Okay, I correct it. So let's move on here. We have to run again. Okay, so enter the roll number. So roll number is 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so roll number input by the keyboard, we took the input from the keyboard because we use scene. So 1 2 3 4 5. Class 12th and name Sansha, that we passed from the main function, that we initialize from the main function. We give the value here. So I give you the second method that we implement in the parameterized constructor. You can create the value here and you can pass it from this function, but it creates many variables. So if we talk about the memory management, so we will not do this. Okay, so it's your choice what the implementation you want to do. So this is the example of function overloading. I hope you will understand this. Okay, so I will ask you what happened here. So whenever we create the object here, it called the first person, it called the person a dot person. So you go to the class A and you got that person has nothing, no variable, so it print this line and take the input from us, that is 1 2 3 4 5. It's stored into the roll number. Then we call these. So a dot person, the first value is 12th, another is Sansha, so it goes to here, it pass the store the value 12th in class variable CL variable and store the name in the num variable, and we can see the value here like this. The another thing, if you want that you never ever call these two function here, only one function work for you, so you have to call the function here in the second person method. Okay, in the person which we passing the parameter, you have to call this person first person method here. Okay, so you type person here. So this time you no need to call individually in the main. Okay, so a person will do this for you, because when it run, it call this see this line, and is goes try to find it in within the class, and it got it and will run this like. Okay, so you can decrease the number of lines. Okay, I will show you again how it's work. Okay, so I will show you the output. So our roll number is 1 2 3 5 6. Okay, class 12th and Sansha. So this way you can do, this is your choice, use only one function. So what happened, I will explain you. When our main function run this line, so you go to this person, because this first person has nothing, no variables, no arguments here, so it skip this, it move here, so it pass a value in CL variable, store the CL variable, the 12th and Sansha stored in the NM. So goes to this line, this is a method again, so we find out and run the line like this that we see here. Okay, then it call or run this line, and we got the output here. So I hope you understand how you can implement function overloading or method overloading in C++. So thanks for watching this.